I'm Chris Williams from Cyclone Fanatic and a proud Iowa State graduate from the class of 2007. No one shows up like Iowa State fans. And Cyclones support Cyclones on and off the field. Your gift can provide scholarships to students, fund groundbreaking research. We could even drum up opportunities for the marching band. Visit MoveWhatMatters.com to learn how you can make an impact today.
He's the prime cut passer from behind the meat counter. It's Fairway Frank. And introducing a 6'3" center who's a cut above the rest. Say hello to Audie Crooks.
Everyone, welcome back to the Cyclone Fanatic pregame show. I'm your host, Leah Nelson. Chelsea Poppens will be joining me in the studio to talk about your Iowa State women's basketball team taking on number 14 Kansas State today at night, and we will get into fun stuff, but as always, you guys know the drill. Let's thank our sponsors, starting off with our title sponsor, Channel Seed. They are the title sponsor for both the men's and women's shows. Once again, we are so thankful to have them on board, and they are just great people, great Iowa State fans. And the good old Fairway Meat and Grocery, go check them out. They have great stuff. I love them, you love them, but don't check them out today. They're closed on Sunday, so check them out tomorrow. But shout out Fairway. Chelsea, it's a big game. Iowa State taking on Kansas State. Last time they faced each other, it was in overtime, which was an exciting game. Obviously, Iowa State came up short, but what are you expecting for this game today?
I think the last game's a good comparison. Iokali's still out. But you and I were talking off camera. The reason we thought it was so close is because only Brown and Crooks were scoring for Iowa State, both of them in the 20s. Brown with 20, Crooks with 28. And I think that's the only reason it was such a close game. Iowa State should have won. Kansas State was adjusting without Iokali, and they're still adjusting. They're a great team. They're very well rounded. Everybody rebounds. But if you looked at, we're watching the Baylor game, they had a tough time guarding Vonleh. They had a tough time defending the paint that they had to go to 2-3 zone, 1-2-2. And so I'm sure you can expect something similar to that today with Crooks down low. I don't think they have an answer for that. They didn't the last time. Since Crooks had 28 points. I think Iowa State is probably going to come in with hopefully the mentality that they've had the last couple games where everybody's scoring and everybody's contributing, because I think if it's a game like the last time, it's just going to be it could go into overtime, and I don't think it's Iowa State's best basketball when only Crooks and Brown are scoring.
1000%. I feel like we could go back, and every time Iowa State had a great game, it was because everyone was involved, and every time it was a tough game, it was only Brown and Crooks scoring. But besides getting, other people involved, what are a few things that Iowa State could do today to really, come out on top?
Rebounding, besides everybody scoring. Sundell is a tremendous guard, so Iowa State's going to have their hands full guarding her, whether that's Jackson or Ryan guarding her. They usually, Point Dexter is a good three-point shooter, but I question what their mentality is going to be coming off of Baylor, because they're 2 for 15 from the three-point line, and they're a better three-point shooting team than that. And so I'm kind of are they going to come in with their heads down with a little bit of mind battle of I got to make my threes today? So if they have a game like Baylor, we absolutely got it if they're doing 2 for 15. But if they come in because Point Dexter is a 40.8% three-point shooter, and they have a bunch of other shooters on board that are able to create plays, get some good mid-range jumpers, get to the hoop, give a little pass, and use that quickness against us, because we're not always great against transition teams who are going to run the court and forget those fast break points, because I don't even just watching this team this year, I look back on my day and Hallie Christopherson's day where we would be sprinting up the court, and that's not the team that it is this year. Like it's a little slower pace. Like people aren't looking for that fast break, like lob.
Yeah.
It's not that fast, like pace play of game. So I think if K-State does use that speed against us, like we'll have a little bit of trouble, but just following the scout, they should know what to expect. We've played them already, and just play the game that we've been playing the best so far.
Talk a little bit about what a game on like senior night means to these girls. I know, like, from my experience, how special it is. And like, for example, our senior night is kind of like a senior weekend because we play Friday, Saturday and Sunday, but it comes Sunday and it's kind of surreal because it's like the last time you're going to be playing on that field or court. But talk about how special, if there's any added pressure or just like the mental side of this potentially, this being, Emily Ryan's last game at Hilton.
Yeah, I mean, it's always added pressure. I know there's not a whole lot of seniors this year, but I think there's always pressure for other players. Like everybody wants the best for Emily Ryan. They want her to have the best senior night possible. And as season comes to a close, they're going to do their best. They're going to fight and give it their all. And they want to win on senior night. Nobody wants to lose on senior night. It's embarrassing. But I think they're going to come with a little bit more edge because they know that pressure is there and they want to show out.
1000%. I was at a UNI's women's basketball senior night last night. I have some friends on that team and they lost by 1 point to Drake. And they were like, it seems a little, it's like a little more tougher. Yeah. They're like, that sucked. It's our last game. It's senior night. They're like crying. And then they, a loss on top of that. So totally understand. I get it. But do you have any special words or like things that you've noticed about Emily Ryan that you could share with everyone? And just like, because she is just a fan favorite. Everyone loves that girl. And she's just an incredible person and athlete at Iowa State.
I mean, I think everyone's kind of heard and seen the way she holds herself on the court, but also off the court on the bench when she's not playing. And you can tell the respect is there from each and every one of the players. They respect her insight, her coaching ability, not just from Coach Finley, but from her. And if she tells them something, like, you can tell they're going to listen. There's no disrespect. There's no talking back. There's no like eye rolls or anything. And that just speaks to the character of her and her game. And when she's out there, everybody else is doing well. But even knowing her from a personal standpoint, like, she's just a very great, like, she's a great player, great person. And she's so just even keeled, like, in person, but on the court, like, nothing phases her.
Right.
Her emotions is always very stoic and just like in control. And so I think she's just a great person. And she's like the mother hen of the group. And that veteran player. And you don't always see that. Right. Like we didn't obviously, veteran players these days are very different than veteran players in our day, but it's so cool to see her impact with everybody else and guidance of all those young players.
Does Coach Finley get emotional at all when it comes to senior night and some special players leaving?
Yeah. I think also like Emily Ryan like holds a place close to his heart too, because remember her, like, she's that class that everybody left.
Right.
And she stayed and she was that loyal one. And now she's the one holding down the fort. And so that, like, Coach Finley definitely appreciates loyalty and like, especially players that are good people and on the court and off the court. Like she's just everything that a coach could ask for and a teammate.
Oh, I like don't even know her personally. And I'm like, man, I would love to be a teammate of hers.
Who do you want in your corner when you're playing?
Literally, you can tell, and like you've mentioned it, you can tell that people just love her. People love hanging out with her and they listen to her and respect her, like you said, which you don't always see that a lot. What a cute picture.
As we have a Big 12 tournament.
Yeah,
let's go.
So that's so sweet. But yeah, there's still hopefully lots of basketball left. And so we'll get to see a little bit more of Emily Ryan and the rest of the Cyclone women's basketball team. But thank you, Chelsea. It's going to be a fun game. I'm excited to tune in. Everyone can tune back in right after the game for post game with Chelsea and I as we talk about the game. And thanks to our sponsors, Channel Seed and Fairway. And as always, shout out Aiden for producing. Go Cyclones.